Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be solving an interesting exponential equation. We have cosine of sine x equals 1/2 and we're going to be looking for x values. I'm going to go ahead and go through the solutions and then we'll do a little bit of calculus and then I'll show you a graph. So let's go ahead and solve these. How do you solve trigonometric equations, right? So you're looking for an angle whose cosine is 1/2. You have to start with the outer function, which is cosine. And if you know basic trigonometry, you'll probably recognize that it is actually 60 degrees or pi over 3. We're going to work with radians. So one of the values that makes the cosine 1/2 is pi over 3. And of course, we can add multiples of 2 pi to it. So we can also write this as 2k pi. All right, where k is an integer. So let's go ahead and take a look at this scenario. So sine x equals pi over 3 plus minus multiples of 2 pi. Let's go ahead and write it like 2k pi and evaluate a couple of values. For example, what happens if k is equal to 0? We get sine x equals pi over 3. What happens if k is equal to 1? Then we get sine x equals pi over 3 plus 2 pi, which is pi over 3 plus 6 pi over 3, which is 7 pi over 3. And then let's just take a look at k equals -1. The other values are just going to be outside these. And when k is -1, you're going to be subtracting 6 pi from pi and divide by 3. That's going to give you -5 pi over 3. Now, one thing to remember with trigonometric equations all the time is sine x and cosine x are always between -1 and 1 inclusive. That's a very important rule that you need to follow. Now, why did I say that? Because pi over 3, as you know, pi is about, and we just had the pi there, right? Have you seen the puzzle? If not, check it out. Pi is about 3.14, right? So pi over 3 is actually going to be greater than 1. Think about it. So sine x is greater than 1. Nope, that's not good. We don't want that. What about 7 pi over 3? Multiply that by 7, it's even worse. Definitely greater than 1. And what about -5 pi over 3? Well, 5 pi over 3 is greater than 1, therefore this is less than -1. So none of these values are actually going to be on this interval. Therefore, there are no solutions. Let's go ahead and take a look at why we don't have any solutions to this interesting equation. Doesn't it look good, like a really good equation? Okay, now let's explore a little bit. So suppose f of x is cosine of sine x. Let's differentiate. We have to use chain rule, so to start with the outside. The derivative of cosine is negative sine and whatever is inside. And then multiply by the derivative of the inside. The derivative of sine x is cosine x. You know, we set it equal to 0 and find the critical points. Now, if cosine x is 0, then we're kind of talking about values like x equals pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, and just keep adding multiples of 2 pi to it, right? What happens in the first factor? What if sine of sine x is equal to 0? Then this basically indicates sine x is equal to 0, right? Or pi, but sine x cannot be pi because pi is greater than 1, definitely. So we're only going to look at sine x equals 0, and that just indicates x equals 0, x equals pi, so on and so forth. So we're basically hitting all multiples of pi over 2. So you can safely say that, hey, this is the same thing as n times pi over 2. So if x is one of those, then we're going to have a critical point, which is a maximum and a minimum. When I show you the graph, you'll have a better idea. What is going to happen with that then? So for example, suppose if x is equal to pi over 2, what happens to our original function? Remember, our original function was cosine of sine x. So we're going to have something like cosine of sine pi over 2. As you know, sine pi over 2 is equal to 1. You're going to get something like cosine of 1. And what is cosine of 1? Let's go ahead and figure it out. So here's the graph that I wanted to show you. And if you look at these values at pi over 2, this is actually the value of cosine of 1. And what happens here is that we don't get any intersection points. Why? Because the minimum value of this function, which is cosine of sine pi over 2, which is the same thing as cosine of 1, by the way, is 0.54, and that is greater than 1/2. So there are no solutions to this interesting trigonometric equation. And this brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow or next time with another video. You never know. Until then, be safe, take care, and bye-bye.